Hey guys, Monty Chen here with a quick look at a deck that I'm going to be playing at regionals. I have finally decided on my deck. I am going to be sticking with the Mega Gardevoir variation. The only difference between this variation and the one that I'm actually going to be running is the Skyla, that's right here, is going to be a computer search. I actually do not have a computer search on TCGO, but when I do use computer search, usually I'm looking for a very certain trainer card, so Skyla is going to be a replacement while I'm showing you guys the deck on TCGO. So keep that in mind, guys. I do have computer search in IRL. I do not have one on TCGO. Just because I forgot to buy code cards when I was at my shop last week. I was at the shop last week, so let's get on with the deck profile though, guys. So we got 4 Gardevoir EX, pretty standard. 3 Mega Gardevoir EX. This is our only attacker in the deck, so we will be using this to attack every single time. We have no other way of attacking this deck. Next up, we got 2 Shaman for the draw support, 2 Hoopas for the consistency. Use a Hoopa, grab Gardevoirs and Shamans in the opening turns, or late game use it to grab the Megas to Mega Evolve. And then we have 1 copy of Dragonite for recovery. We can use this to pull Shamans, Hoopas, Gardevoir EXs out of the discard pile and put them back into our hand. So that's what we use the Dragonite for. We run 2 Execute with the Propagation ability. Now this deck we're not going for one-shots because we're not playing a Skyfield variation. The one-shot variation was just not doing well for me in Expanded. There's just too much stuff I couldn't deal with. So we're going for more of a 2-shot build, so we're going to run 2 Propagation Executes. The nice thing about this execute is the propagation ability lets us add this card from our from our discard pile to our hand once during our turn. So we get this in our discard pile either by discarding it for Ultra Ball or maybe Battle Compressor. We can add this back to our hand and use it to pay costs. You know, we can use it for Ultra Ball, or we can just put it back on our bench and discard with the Spare Ray to hit 130 damage every turn. And that will 2-shot pretty much everything in the game, unless someone's playing well or with Fighting Fury Belt, which I highly doubt they will be. Next up, we got 2 Battle Compressors to discard our Executes, our Energies, one of supporters or supporters we don't need for that match. More specifically, our Tech supporters. We play 1 copy of Escape Rope, just to act as a pseudo Lysander when needed, and Escape Rope gets you out of some really tight situations. 2 copies of Mega Turbo to grab energies from our discard pile attached to our Mega Gardevoir. Only 2 Trainer's Mails though this time, guys. I have started to realize that Trainer's Mail is not having 4 Trainer's Mail is kind of overkill, and so is 3. I found 2 or 3 to be the right number. In this case, I'm running 2, and it's working fine for me. 4 Ultra Ball for consistency and searching. 4 VS Seekers. Gotta play 4 VS Seekers, guys. 3 Dimension Valleys. This is what really makes this deck go off. Since Mega Gardevoir is a dual type of Fairy and Psychic, and the second energy cost is a colorless, it means Dimension Valley does work with Mega Gardevoir, so we can attack for 1 energy, which means we can pull cute little things like Mega Evolve, Dimension Valley, Mega Turbo, and be going off right away. Next thing we got is we got 2 copy of Getsis. This card is deadly, especially in the early turns. Sometimes I will turn 1 Getsis people and get 5 extra cards, and they are just stuck because they have no items. They'll have to throw back Ultra Balls or certain Ultra Balls, Dive Balls, pretty much all their items, and then have to be stuck in top deck mode for when it comes to items. They'll also be really good late game when you make your opponent have to shuffle back in all the recovery that they're holding. Next up, we got 1 Hex Maniac. This is for things like Vileplume, Suicune, Regice, Jolteon, Glaceon. No, not sorry, wrong cards. Vileplume, yes. Archeops, Suicune, anything that was an ability that prevents us from going off and doing what we want to do. That's what we had the Hex Maniac for. Also, we can use it against our opponents to stall them, such as like in the case of a Keldeo deck. Any deck that's running Keldeo, they can't use the rushing ability. Any deck that is using, I don't know, they can't play Shamans from their hand and draw. It has a variety of uses. If you know they're holding certain cards, you can play this, drop this down preemptively, and they could be stuck. Also, it just shuts up Vileplume, and I hate Vileplume. 1 Karen. This deck heavily relies on it recycling itself. So late game, you can drop this Karen, recycle back in all your Pokemon, and be ready to go start hitting damage again. Since Execute has propagation ability, we can pull this Executes out first before playing the Karen, and then drop down the Executes and put them back in our discard pile, so this does not disrupt anything that we are planning on doing, but it can heavily disrupt your opponent if your opponent is playing Night March or Vespiquen, or any deck that requires Pokemon to be in the discard pile. So Karen is an awesome card here in this. We play one Lysander, 2 copies of N for draw support and consistency, 1 Pokemon Ranger. This is in here for things like Regice, Jolteon, Glaceon, Toad, annoying stall tactics that we want to get around, so Pokemon Ranger is one of. We play 1 Professor Kukui. Now, the nice thing about Professor Kukui is that this is 2 less Pokemon to discard off our bench, although I am considering dropping this for maybe a Pokemon Serenity for things like Hypnotoxic Laser. I will be testing that later after this video to see if I prefer Pokemon Serenity over Professor Kukui. This was something I tested in my initial build of Gardevoir, and I thought it would carry over well in this. As of late, it has not, except for in those clutch situations where I need to hit like 170 damage. 170? Is that right? Well, yeah, 170 damage, because I could just discard 4 Pokemon off my bench, which usually will be the 2 Executes and maybe a Shaman and a Hoopa. Then drop the Kukui. That does 170 damage. That takes out things like Lapras. So we play 1 copy Kukui, 4 copies of Sycamore for draw support, 1 copy of Skylar, grab those trainers that we really, really need, 2 copies of Floatstone in case our Shaman, Hoopa, or Dragonite gets stuck in the active, 4 Spirit Links for consistency on the Megas, and then we only play 8 basic Fairy Energy in this deck. I was playing 9 originally. I tried to drop it. I dropped it down to 8, and the deck is still working just fine. We are hitting energy when we need to. We have things like Battle Compressor to get the energy in this problem Mega Turbo. And since we are playing Dimension Valley, we only need 1 energy when we have Dimension Valley out, but Despair Ray does require 2 if we don't have Dimension Valley. So that's why I'm playing 8 instead of something like maybe like 4 or 5. Plus, I feel like that's just way too low of a number to be running in a deck like this. So that's the deck, guys. Let's get some games in. Alright, guys. We're back at it. Looking for an opponent here. We're going to do this kind of the raw and cut style where I just sit here and talk for about 3 games. Try to get 3 good games in. If we get someone who just concedes right away, we won't even bother. We won't count that one. But I'm playing at about 4 o'clock in the morning. And I've been playing for about an hour. Played like 3 or 4 games before I started recording this video. And I've gone against a good variety of meta-ish decks. And what I mean by that is I've gone against things like Water Toolbox, Mega Mewtwo, some kind of weird Donphan deck that I've never seen before, but that's okay. We're just going to get rolling here. Now we do have a pretty good opening hand for going first. Okay, so we're going against the Decidueye Toad, it looks like. So we're going to Ultra Ball here right away. Discard Karen and Lysander because we want those in the discard pile to go live later. It looks like we have 1 Mega Gardevoir prize, 1 Hoopa prize, 1 VS Seeker, 1 N, and an Energy, it looks like, for prizes. Okay, so none of those prizes really are going to affect us, except for that Mega Gardevoir, so we'll try to get that early so I can't discard this Mega Gardevoir ever. So let's Hoopa here. I'm going to grab 3 Pokemon, and we're going to grab 2 Gardevoir EXs and 1 Shaman. Now the debate here is whether or not I want to put the energy on the active Gardevoir or not. If he does get a double colorless, this will be doing 60 damage, so I'm not really scared of that 60 damage because I can take this out pretty easily before he can take me out. Because if we get the Dimension Valley early, we'll be swinging pretty quickly. So let's grab 4 more cards off of Shaman. And we got Spirit Link, which is nice, so we'll drop that on there. We're going to Ultra Ball here. We're going to discard this Execute and an Energy. And grab ourselves our other Shaman. Oh, was that the other prize? Oh, Shiznit. Fuck me. This is what I get for playing at 4 AM, guys. So that was a blunder on my part. I thought we had the second Shaman still. Now we kind of gave that away. But that's fine. We're just going to end our turn here and pass it off to our opponent. Hopefully he doesn't draw a Force of Giant Plants or something nasty like that. If he draws a Force of Giant Plant... Oh, shiznit. He's probably going to go off here. He's got Ultra Ball for Dark Tricks probably. Yep. Which means he more than likely has the Decidueye in his hand. And probably something like a Sycamore or an N. If he ends us, it'd be kind of a nice welcoming because our hand's kind of slow. What did he discard? Super Scoop Up and Sycamore. So, yep, that was the other Sycamore, so that was a good move on his part. This is a matchup I kind of have played against. LoneAzn is playing a very similar deck to this. And this is kind of a back and forth matchup between me and him. It really came down to who executed better. He's got the Fighting Fairy Belt, which really sucks. Double colorless, so he's got all the stuff that he needs. One thing I've been trying to squeeze into this deck is an Enhanced Hammer, for specifically against the Decidueye matchup. Okay, so we have no abilities while this guy's in the active, right? As long as this Pokemon isn't your active Pokemon, except for Sec. So he has to have that in the active. Don't know why he's playing that, because it only works when he's in the active, unless that's something he's trying to stall with. We can put a lot of damage. We can put 130 damage onto this Lugia. He's going to hit us for 70. So we're going to take another 90 next turn. So he can't kill us next turn, probably. That Sycamore is a sick top deck, if I've ever seen one in my life. Or attach energy and evolve. Looks like we can evolve again. We can drop that there. And then we are going to Despair right here. We're going to get rid of the Shaman and the Hoopa and the Gardevoir without the Spirit Link on it. Do 140 damage here. Like I said, we're going for the 2 shots, not the 1 shot. Decidueye is going to be a problem though, because that's 240 HP. So, but luckily both executes we do have. We will be taking the knockout on this Lugia next turn. If he gets a second Decidueye out right now, that's going to be lead to a knockout, I believe. 90-90. Oh, wait, no. He's me doing 80-90 with just Lugia. Because I attached a second energy. Oh, boy. Okay, so we need to get a Dimension Valley soon. We're probably going to end up having to discard our entire hand to get that dig hard for that Dimension Valley. We have 29 cards left in our deck. I usually try to get down to this point last turn. I've actually played a lot of games where I've gotten down to less than that. Okay, so now he should hit the back row. Okay, he can't do math apparently. He just missed out 20 damage on the other Mega Gardevoir there. Or I can't do math actually, oops. Oh well, see that's what I get for talking shit. Now the question here is, do I Getsus him or do I Sycamore him? I think the plan here is to Sycamore him. The Sycamore here. We're going to lose that Dragonite, but the Karen is in the discard pile, which is good. We need to... Let's battle Compressor first. Get rid of anything that will not be a way for us to get out our... Dimension Valley here. We're really just looking for digging cards here. We have both Mega Turbos, so I could just discard this energy, which I think is the right move here. We have no way of energy recycling other than Mega Turbo, so we need to try to get Dimension Valley. That's what we need right there. Now he doesn't have a secondary attacker prepped, so we will probably get some good hits on in his bench. I don't even need the propagation here, so let's just hit him with the Despair Ray. Take our 2 prizes. Hopefully we get the third Mega Gardevoir off one of these 2 prizes here. We didn't, but we got the Shaman, which is nice. Now he's probably gonna, if he does the smart thing, if he has a DCE, he's gonna attach it here and just Sky Return. Yep. What is that? Oh, that's a Toad. So we do have the Ranger in the discard pile. If after he Sky Returns, if he brings out that Seismitoad, we're gonna have the VS Seeker for. We're gonna have the VS Seeker for the Ranger, which is in our discard pile. Yes, it is. Okay, so we're gonna Getsus him first. because I know he has at least one item in his hand. Oh, he has 2 items in his hand, so we're going to get 2 extra cards here. We're going to VS Seeker here. We're going to grab this Ranger preemptively. We're going to shame it for 1, for none actually. Derp or derp. Oh well, just discard it. We have the Karen live in the discard pile, so we could Karen soon. Just take out that Wobbuffet. I screwed up when reading that one. This is what I get for playing at 4 a.m. guys. Forgive me. I've been up since about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Actually, yeah, about 1 o'clock this afternoon, so I've been up for somewhere around 20 hours straight. So he did get off that Force of Giant Plants, which really sucks. But I think that was more or less just to prevent me from attacking for a single energy. We do still have both Mega Turbos left in the deck, so we do have outs. But we have 1 energy in our hand, which is all we need. We will get the Propagation Execute off. Now, I don't think we have to worry about using items. Item Lock is more of an early game strategy than a late game strategy. And we've dug through so much of our deck that it doesn't even matter anymore. If I see another threat coming out soon, I will probably end up using Rangering, and then I'll end up Rangering and using the VS Secret to grab the Karen. So I haven't actually seen anything other than DCEs. It makes me wonder if he's even playing Grass Energies. He possibly could take the knockout here. Actually, no, he can't. He would have to like Kukui and like Muscle Band. So we are gonna have to 1 Ranger, 2 Ultra Ball. Oh wait, oops, I didn't mean to Ultra Ball. Oh well. VS Seeker out our Karen. Play the Karen. Oh, we can play the Karen next turn, that's right. But we can Propagation. See, guys, this is what happens when I play it. Like, this is how I'm going to be playing at Regionals, too. It really sucks. I'm going to be up for like 24 hours straight by the time we start Regionals. I work a really shitty, crappy job. Excuse the language. We will just Despair right here for a pretty good chunk of damage here. We do have the Karen for next turn, which hopefully we can get a draw support of some kind off here. We have 2 Sycamores left. We have an N left. So it is possible we can get something off the top here. Part of me misses the Buddy Buddy Rescue build I had before, just because it was so consistent with the damage. Okay, since he put the Colorless Energy double DCE on the Decidueye, tells me he does play Grass Energy. Still think it's kind of weird that he hasn't drawn any yet or played any. But like I said, guys, this matchup I've done before. It's not fun. So he got Special Charge. Really, by playing that stupid Ultra Ball, I screwed myself up. I could have used the Hoopa. I misplayed so bad. So he does realize that he is getting the knockout here, so he's just going to start poking at the back Gardevoir here. Which is the right move for him. Usually when I play, though, guys, I play a lot slower than when I play on TCGO. It's just I don't want to bore you guys with my slow playing. So let's see what we get off the top here. Maybe we can get something good. That's not something good. But we are going to Propagation first before we play the Karen. Yeah, he's me doing 120. So I don't think... So if he does 3 Decidueyes, that puts us to 120 health. So he has a couple outs. He can draw a Muscle Band and win the game off of that. But by doing this, we make his deck considerably thicker. By 1, 2, 3 cards. Okay, so maybe not that much thicker, but at least we lower his chances of drawing that Muscle Band that we shuffled back into his deck earlier. But he has a pretty huge hand, so he probably has it. I'm willing to bet he has it right here. That misplay that I made earlier was actually pretty huge. If I had not made that misplay, I could have, this turn, I could have Hoopa'd, got the Mega out, and actually started doing some damage. But well played by him. Let's get another game in, boys. See if we can go against another good deck. That Decidueye Toad was actually a deck that me and LoneAzn wanted to build for him for regionals. I did not catch what we're playing against, but I think it was fighting in dark, so I'm guessing it's a Yveltal Maxis by his deck box. Which Yveltal Maxis is a matchup that I have played against with this deck, and it's another struggle. What's worse, starting Execute or starting Shaman? I think starting Execute's better than starting Shaman. It's still a retreat cost of 1, so I guess it's okay. Probably gonna Ultra Ball. Depends what we draw, I guess. Let's see what we draw here. That's Yveltal. Okay, it's dark. Oh, so there's some Darkrai variation, okay. So we're gonna Hoopa. Grab some cards. We'll grab Gardevoirs. We'll play that. Ultra Ball something else away. You know, let's just go for the most explosive start we can. Turbo Dark's a pretty fast deck, and we don't want to fall behind. Otherwise, we will be in deep trouble. We are definitely gonna play that Getsis though, to try to slow him down. We're gonna Ultra Ball. No, let's just Getsis first. Okay, so he only... Okay, that Battle Compressor is actually a pretty huge hit to him. We got an energy, which is nice. Now the question is, do I want to give him a prize? Actually, giving this Execute's actually probably not a bad idea. Just for the simple fact that even if he does knock out and take a prize, he still has to knock out 3 Megas. So I think we're just going to leave this Execute up for now. He's probably going to want to knock it out, though. And we still have a bunch of energy left in our deck, but that Getsis probably definitely crippled him a little bit. I did see a couple supporters. I believe one of them was... He had a Ranger and a Skyla, I think. So he might Skyla for an item. Here, probably like an Ultra Ball, and get a Shaman, and then start going off. Assuming he has Shamans. That's the thing with TCGO, you're never quite sure if someone has Shamans or not. At regionals, I'm just going to assume everyone's running Shaman. Unless you're playing some deck that doesn't require it. Which, really, unless you're playing that weird Lapras deck that I heard about that only runs, that literally only has 4 copies of Lapras in the deck and a crap ton of draw. I pretty much would assume every deck that is going to be played is going to be playing Shaman in some capacity. So he just passes off to us. So we're gonna Hoopa. And we are going to grab a Mega and a Mega and a... Just gonna grab the 2 Megas here. Gonna Ultra Ball away this N and this Lysander. Oh, he just scooped. Okay, so we won't even count that. See, guys, turn 1 gets this, just makes people scoop. So let's get another couple games in, boys. Here. And we're looking for opponent. But yeah, some popular decks I know I'm gonna see at regionals are gonna be some kind of Vileplume decks, which will probably be like Vileplume Decidueye, because that deck did really well at, I guess that would be called Oceanic Regionals, whichever in Australia, or was it in Australia? I think it was in Australia. We're gonna go first here. Another deck that I think will be played will be Decidueye Bats. I mean Decidueye Toads. And then also, might end up seeing some Night March, not sure. Some Greninja Break. Probably not as much Greninja Break. My local card shop was mentioning that there will be a slight chance of someone playing Solgaleo, but I don't see Solgaleo really being... Solgaleo is an effective deck. I do have a deck profile come up on that, guys. But I just feel like it's kind of clunky and no one's really refined the list yet. But I imagine someone for regionals would probably have refined the list and probably kept it really secret. Probably just in some internal testing with their closest friends. And this guy's taking forever to set up. Come on, dude. It's almost a full minute. What is this guy doing? Oh, boy. Okay, there we go. Push the done button. So, Wobbuffet. That is a problem. So, we are going to ultra... Actually, yeah, we're going to Trainer's Mail first, actually. I don't want any of these cards right now. Ultra Ball. Discard these two guys right here. We can Hoopa, because Hoopa is a psychic. But we will not be able to Shaman, so we're going to probably end up having to hold that Shaman. Which I think is better than just not grabbing it. I have no idea what we're playing against, really. This Wobbuffet just seems kind of weird. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon. Okay, so I feel like this should work. Oh, what? Why does it not give you the arrow while it's in your hand? It's so stupid. That's just... Okay, so I guess that's how the ruling works. And we get delinquited. Right off the bat. What a douche. Your parents must be proud of you, man. So I'll just grab that. If we get the second energy, we'll probably be fine. So I'm guessing he's not playing Shaman if he started Wobbuffet. So just hard evolve here just to... We're in top deck mode, really, we are. Which really sucks. He's grabbing a level ball. What's he grabbing here? Oh boy, this is Trev lock. Oh boy, I hate item lock with a burning passion. And he's getting Ascension right now. And we're locked out of all items. So we have to draw an energy of some kind right now. That works. Sycamore will work. Still don't have energy. Well, drawn through almost half our deck and not got energy really sucks. And he got the break. Which, if I remember correctly... Yep. He gets to put 3 free damage counters on us. And he has a lower retreat cost with that energy. He's getting out more of them. You guys must... Your parents must be so proud of you, Trevenant players. Your parents must be so proud of you. Like... How do you all sleep at night? So... We're stuck. I guess we Lysander out one of his phantoms. And then we just pass and hope he doesn't have a floatstone or gets the energy off the top of the deck. But at least if he gets the energy off top of the deck, that wastes his attack for the turn, so... Oh, never mind, he had the Wally. They always have the Wally. Like, I never understood the people who play, like, item lock decks. He had one item. Oh, he had more than one item. So we're going to drop down this execute here, just do the extra damage. Get it out of our hand, too. We'll keep the other Gardevoirs on our bench because they're not in threat of being knocked out anytime soon. But this item lock is really going to be a problem. We are locked out of so many items. We really need to find a way out of this. Okay, that is a big help. Bursting Balloon is not fun. He is going to Jirachi for something. Ice Trainer. Your parents must be proud of you. Like, you're like, really? Like, do you, like, take pleasure in, like, playing these decks that everyone hated from back in the day? And they hated them for a very specific reason. They were stupid, they were, I don't want to say OP, but they were certainly overtuned for their time. We're just gonna grab the Shaman, because no point in grabbing anything else. We can't play the Spirit Links. We need to take out this. We need to take out that stupid Trevenant, which has 160 HP. Which means we need to discard 5 Pokemon. So we could actually grab this Execute here and discard everything but 1 Gardevoir. We'll just keep 1 Gardevoir on the bench. Keep the one with the energy on it already. Knock this out. And take that Bursting Balloon damage like a man. What? Oh, I can't do math. Brandon, I can't do math. I can't do math. I would have discarded my whole bench there, but I'd rather than not just held it. Okay, that Karen helps me quite a bit, actually. Means I don't have to play my own. One thing we could do is grab a use the Skylar to grab a Hex Maniac for the following turn. Which I hope is not prized. We're gonna grab this for next turn, because this will allow us to do some work on the following turn. I'm just gonna Despair right here, knock out that Trevenant. See, he has to do a lot of attacks to knock us out, while we only have to do 1 to 2. He's gonna Ascension to the next Trevenant here, but we have the Hex Maniac to stop the item lock and get the next Gardevoir powered up. So, Ultra Ball, he's gonna grab that Trevenant. I already know. Oh, he has Computer Search. So does Trevlock really not play a Shaman? Probably not, because Trevlock was popular before Shaman came out. Ugh. Your parents must be so proud of you. Okay, so we're gonna Hex Maniac here. Drop this. Drop this. We need to grab a Trainer's Mail and grab. That's what we need. We need that Ultra Ball there. What's this guy do again? This is 10 more damage for each damage counter opponent's active Pokemon. So, we need to grab a Gardevoir now. Like right now. Because he can knock out this Gardevoir next turn. This Mega next turn. And we'll just Despair right here. Why does it have a Dark Weakness? It's so stupid. So, if you're probably not going to switch out of the Trevenant, he's probably leave it up there, which I feel like is the wrong move. There we go. Now he's going to take the knockout here. But we still have no abilities, because Wobbuffet. Is this gonna be a video where I literally lose every game? Like, how do these people, like, sleep at night? I can play items still. So I think playing this shaman here to get that extra damage is gonna be important for later. Okay, so we got that. We got the Hoopa, which really doesn't do us anything. Let's grab this Dragonite. We have no way of shutting off this Wobbuffet, which really sucks. So we'll probably just end up having to Heart Evolve here. Let's get rid of the other Battle Compressor because it's not going to do us anything. And let's get rid of the Ranger because it's not going to do us anything. And let's just Heart Evolve and start swinging next turn. That Trevenant's going down. Susie brings it out. These bursting balloons are really annoying. Makes me want to run something like Starling Megaphone, which I could do. Oh my god, can you stop it with the Trevlock? Like, tell the people who like to play like these item lock decks, do you all like enjoy it? Like, how do you have friends? Like, you're the type of person who like uses the cheat codes like when you're playing against your friends. Like, seriously, like, y'all got like no friends. So we can just discard the whole bench because, yeah, we pretty much just lost. Like, there's nothing we could do against that right there. This Wobbuffet's coming out, we're gonna die. So, I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction, I'm not giving him well played, because he's a douche. Alright guys, so we went against some of the worst matchups for this deck. Item lock is like the hardest thing to deal with, especially Trevlock, especially because we don't hit them for weakness, and they just block out our abilities with the Wobbuffet, and our ability to search and play Spirit Links from the Trevenant, and it just sets up so fast. Honestly though, I don't think Trevlock's going to be a huge factor at Portland Regionals. I think it's going to be mostly Vileplume, which is a lot easier to deal with than Trev, because Vileplume I can just shut off with Hex Maniac. But we'll have to wait and see. I think I'm just going to wrap up the video here because my assault levels are way too high. But I'm hoping the deck does do well. I've played it against Lurantis, and I beat Lurantis' back and forth matchup. I played against Night March, and I usually beat Night March. I played it against LoneAzn's deck, which I am not going to say because I don't know if he wants to announce it yet, but it's a Decidueye deck of some kind. Another deck that I played against with this deck that did really well against, it did well against Volcanion. It did well against Mega Mewtwo, which is obvious. It did well against Water Toolbox. I imagine the matchup would be good against, yeah, but there's a couple other things. But it loses to, it doesn't do so well. Turbo Dark is a tough matchup. I think I could beat Turbo Dark. Yveltal Maxi is another tough matchup, but I think it's the one I can win if I play it right. And and then rogue decks are always, I don't even know what the rogue decks will be. I know Raikou is probably going to be a popular choice there because it counters Yveltal Maxis. So I'll probably keep a lookout for Raikou. Definitely going to look into more energy denial, put more play testing. When I get the final version done, guys, it'll probably be part of the vlog series. We will be vlogging all of regionals. And I'll probably slip in my deck profile with with the camera and like show you guys my actual deck. But until then, guys, peace out. Catch you next time. It's just item lock is just extremely hard to deal with. I personally hate item lock. It's just so annoying, and I feel like it's unhealthy for the game.